Good day to all. Today in this video we will see an unbalanced assignment problem. Okay, here I have taken an unbalanced assignment problem here. Okay, as you can see there are 5 rows and 4 columns here. Okay, so this is my unbalanced assignment problem. So here the number of rows is not equal to the number of columns. Therefore the given problem is an unbalanced assignment problem. So to make it balanced, what we need to do, we'll add a dummy column here. Okay, so dummy column with cost matrix. So to make it balance, we need to add a dummy column with 0 cost value. Hence the problem becomes, so the problem will become like this. Okay, so here in this problem what I have done, I have added a dummy column here with 0 matrix. Okay, and next I'll go for row reduction, obviously the same thing which we used to follow before. Okay, so in row reduction I'll take row wise, I'll check. Okay, row wise the least element is 0 here, so with 0 I'm going to subtract all the elements. So if I subtract all the elements with 0, I'll get the same values. So here row wise the least element is 0, so if I subtract, the same elements will have. So I'll write the elements as it is. So 9, 14, 19, 15, 0. In the second row the least element is 0, so I'll write it as it is, the values 7, 17, 20, 19, 0. In the third row also there is the least element is 0. Okay, so I'll write the same values here. So 9, 18, 21, 18, 0. In the fourth row the least element is 0, so if I subtract with 0, I'll get the same elements 10, 12, 18, 19, 0. And in the last row also the least element is 0, so if I subtract, I'll get the same elements 10, 15, 21, 16, 0. Okay, so row reduction is over, and then I'm coming for column reduction. So in column reduction, column wise I need to select the least value. So column wise the least value is 7, so if I subtract all the elements with 7, I'll get 9 minus 7 is 2, 7 minus 7 0, 9 minus 7 2, 10 minus 7 3, 10 minus 7 3. And here in the second row the least element is 12, so I'll subtract with all the elements with 12. So 14 minus 12 2, 17 minus 12 5, 18 minus 12 6, 12 minus 12 0, 15 minus 12 3. Here in this row the least element is 18, so I'll subtract all the elements with 18. So 19 minus 18 1, 20 minus 18 2, 21 minus 18 3, 18 minus 18 0, 21 minus 18 3. Here the least element is 15, so I'll subtract all the elements with 15. 15 minus 15 0, 19 minus 15 4, 80 minus 15 3, 19 minus 15 4, 16 minus 15 1. Here in the last column the all element is 0, so if I subtract also with the least element is 0 only. If I subtract also, I'll get the same values. Okay, so I'll write here 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, so I have written here row reduction. So I have done row reduction and column reduction. So after this I need to check for assignment. So I'm going to check for assignment here. Okay, so to check for assignment I'll write the values here: 2 to 1 0 0, 0 5, 2 4 0, 2 6, 3 3 0, 3 0 0, 4 0, 3 3 3 1 0. Okay, so I'm going to check for assignment now. Okay, so for checking the assignment I need to make sure that in each row or in each column, in a row or in column, there should be only 1 0. Okay, if there are more than 1 zeros, I'm going to leave that row or column. So in the first row there are 2 zeros, so I'll leave that. In the second row there are 2 zeros, I'll leave. In the third row there is only 1 0, so row wise I'm selecting the 0, column wise 0 will be cancelled. Okay, column wise 0 or cancelled. Okay, here in the first row there is only 1 0, so row wise I'm selecting the 0, column wise there are no zeros. Okay, I'll leave it. Okay, here in the second row there is only 1 0, so row wise I'm selecting, column wise there is no 0 to cancel. Okay, and then here in the fourth row there are 2 zeros. Okay, so row wise I'm not going to select. If I take column wise there is only 1 0 here, So column wise I'm selecting the 0, row by 0 will be cancelled. Okay, so as I can see here, we are not getting the assignment. Okay, so in the last column there is no assignment. Okay, so if there is no assignment, we'll draw the minimum number of lines up. So to draw the minimum number of lines, I'll write the matrix here. Okay, the matrix value is 2 2 1 0 0 0 5 2 4 0 2 6 3 3 0 3 0 0 4 0 33310. Okay, so for now I'm going to draw the minimum number of lines to cover all 0. So this should be done in such a way, so the line should be drawn in such a way where there is more number of zeros. Okay, as you can see here, the last column, it contains more number of zeros, so I'm going to strike out this column. Okay, after striking it out, I can see here the more number of zeros is seen in row 4. Okay, so row 4 is cancelled. Okay, and then I can see here there are only two zeros spinning here, this one and this one, so I have to strike this out, so I can do horizontally or vertically, it's my wish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, for to mark the 0, I'm cancelling it horizontally, and for this 0 I'm marking it horizontally. Okay, this vertically and this one horizontally I have marked. Okay, so now I'm going to write step 5. So to write step 5, I need to follow few rules. Okay, the rule is intersection add, on the line no change, and others subtract. So I'm going to follow this rule here. Okay, so for in step 5 I'll choose the least element. So choose the least element. So the ones we have strike it out, no, so leave that. So apart from that, we need to choose the least element. Okay, so if we see the least element here in this boxes, we can see 1 is the least element. Okay, so I'm choosing the least element to be 1 here. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the mantra here. Okay, so in mantra it says that intersection add. So intersection in part contains here. Okay, here we have the intersection. The value here is 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. So in the intersection I'm going to add here. Okay, 3. Here the value is 0, so 0 plus 1 1. This is the intersection part, so I'm adding 0, so 0 plus 1 1. The next intersection part is here, so here the value is 3, so 3 plus 1 I'll get 4. Okay, next the intersection part is here, so 0 plus 1, so 0 plus 1 is 1. So all intersection are over. Okay, and then on the line no change. On the line, so these values 2 1 0 0 2 3 0 0 0, these are on the line, so I'll write it as it is, no change in that. Okay, so I'll write those values as it is. So see here, so I have not done any changes here. Okay, so on the line no change. Okay, and then other values I need to subtract. Okay, so other values are here 5, so I need to subtract this 5 with 1. So 5 minus 1 4, 2 minus 1 1, 4 minus 1 3, 6 minus 1 5, 3 minus 1 2, 3 minus 1 2, 3 minus 1 2, 3 minus 1 2, 1 minus 1 0. Okay, so I have done this. Okay, and next I will go for step 6. Step 6 is I need to check for assignment. Okay, so step 6, check for assignment. So I'll write this matrix here. I'm here going to check for assignment. Okay, so for check for assignment I need to check row wise or column wise, there should be 1 0. So here in this row Here in the first row there is only 1 0, so row wise I am selecting the 0, column wise 0 will be cancelled. Okay, and in the second row there are 2 zeros, so I am not going to select. In the third row there is only 1 0, so row wise 0 I am selecting, column wise 0 are cancelled. And here in the fourth row there are 2 zeros, so I am not going to select. Okay, and again if I can see in the second row there is only 1 0 here, so row wise I am selecting the 0, column wise 0 is not there, so I am leaving it. Okay, and then if I check column wise, here in the second column, in the second column I have, in the second column I have 1 0, so column wise selected. Okay, since I have selected column wise, row wise 0 will be cancelled. Okay, so row wise 0 is cancelled. Here I can see that there is no assignment. So here in the last row there is no assignment, so again I'll go for minimum, I'll draw minimum number of lines. Okay, and then I'll apply the rule, and then I'll again check for assignment. Now draw minimum number of lines to cover all zeros here. Okay, so I need to check in each row or column wise, if there are more number of zeros I'll strike it out. Okay, so as I can see here, the last column it has more number of zeros. Okay, so I'm striking the last column. Okay, and then I can see that the maximum number of zeros are in the fourth row, so fourth row can be cancelled. And then here the fourth column there are 2 zeros, I am cancelling. And then here there is 1 0, so I can cancel row wise or column wise. Okay, I'm cancelling vertically here. Okay, I have cancelled. Okay, so I have drawn the minimum number of lines to cover all zeros. Okay, and after doing that I need to apply the mantra here. So the mantra is, you know that intersection, add, on the line no change, others subtract. Okay, so I'm going to apply the mantra here directly. You can see here the intersection part here is 4. Okay, so first I'll choose the least element. So least element, choose the least element. Here the least element is 1. Here the least element is 1. Okay, so 1 is the least element here. In these values 1 is the least element, so I have choose the least element 1. Okay, so in intersection I'm going to add by 1. Okay, so here the intersection is part is here, so 4 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so here 4 plus 1 is 5, so I'll write the value 5 here. And then the intersection part is here, so here the value is 4, so 4 plus 1 5. Next the intersection part is here 1, so 1 plus 1 2. Intersection is over. Next part, next rule, on the line no change. On the line the values are 3 0 2 3 0 3 2 0 1 0 0 0. So these values are on the line, so no change in that. Okay, I'll write these values as it is. So I'm writing these values as it is. 3 0 2 3, this is 0 3 2 0 1 0 0 0. Okay, so on the line no change, over. And here also 0 0. Okay, so on the line no change, over. Others subtract, so others I need to subtract. So here the value is 2, so 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 0, 4 minus 1 3, 1 minus 1 0, 5 minus 1 4, 2 minus 1 1, 2 minus 1 1, 2 minus 1 1. Okay, and then I'm going to check for assignment. Okay, so here in this table itself I'm checking for assignment. Okay, so for checking for assignment, I'm row wise or column wise I need to select only 1 0. So here in the first row there are 2 zeros, so I'm not going to select. Here in the second row there are 3 zeros, I'm not going to select. In the third row there are 1 0, so I'm going to select this 0. So row wise I am selected, column wise 0 are to be cancelled. Okay, and then here in the fourth row there are 2 zeros, I'm not going to select. In the last row there is only 1 0, so row wise I'm selecting, column wise 0 is cancelled. Since this 0 is cancelled, here in this row there is only 1 0, so row wise 0 I'm selecting, column wise zeros are cancelled. Okay, and then here in this row there is only one zero, so row wise 0 I'm selecting, column wise there is no 0 to cancel. And here in this column or row, as you can see, there is only one zero, so I'm going to select this. Okay, that's it. So no other pending. So as you can see here, so this is my C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. This is my R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Okay, so my final answer is I'll write here C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. This is my total. As you can see, C1 it represents R3. Okay, so C1 it represents R3. Then C2 it represents R1. R1. C3 represents R5. C4 represents R2. And C5 represents R4. Okay, so I have written this. Now I'm going to write the cost matrix. Okay, so the cost matrix is, I'll take this value, I'm going to select this matrix here. Okay, so I can see here C1 it goes to R3, so C1 to R3 the value is 19, so 19. C2 to R1, C2 to R1 the value is 7. C3 to R5, C3 to R5 the value is 0. C4 to R2, C4 to R2 the value is 12. C5 to R4 the value is 16. So if I add all this value, I'll get the final answer 54. Thank you all for watching. Thank you.